It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you so much for making time for us. We are back in the Betway Premiership, and we've just watched TS Galaxy against Mamelodi Sundowns down at the Mbombela Stadium in Mpumalanga, and in the process witnessing arguably one of the biggest upsets of the season, the 2024-2025 season. I don't think we've seen a bigger upset than this one in the league this season. TS Galaxy taking that game by 1-0, and therefore taking all 3 points and climbing to the 4th position in the league. They have been on a surge, TS Galaxy, I have to say. They haven't lost a game in a number, more than 10 games, I think, so far. And they had a lot of draws, but they haven't been winning too many games. But also they haven't been losing a lot of draws. So they've been building some confidence. But if I say any of us saw this coming, I know there might be some people who would claim that they saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming. I wrote it off. On paper, Sundowns won the game. I thought Sundowns have won this game. I don't see any problem. I don't see them struggling at all. But little did we know, TS Galaxy would pull a number on Mamelodi Sundowns. In the first half, Sibilebile scoring the goal just before the halftime whistle sounded, and that's how they won the game. If we check, there wasn't much that was different, I would say. I think the Sundowns still had the position, but one of the things that worked for TS Galaxy was I think the Pirates game opened their eyes to a certain extent, that they knew where to press and where to be alert. One of the biggest things that they were successful in doing was to silence Lucas Ribeiro Costa, because we saw right now he's the player that makes the team tick. So if you close him down, you've reduced the workload, because Sundowns, as it is, you can't really say you've killed off Sundowns by just silencing one player. But I think they did their work pretty. They did a good preparation against Lucas Ribeiro, because they really silenced him in that midfield. They would be doubling up, sometimes even tripling up on him, making sure that even if he gets the ball, he doesn't have the space to run to. Sometimes he would get the ball in his second touch, and then they're just around him, and then they're winning the ball, making sure that he does not make the team tick. Also, I think they were alert in terms of defending when they needed to defend, and also attacking when they could attack. Most of the time they needed to defend, so you'd understand why they would have to defend. They don't have the kind of squad that Mamelodi Sundowns have, but when they could attack, they were able to attack, and that's how they got the goal in the first half, just before the halftime. Perfect time for them to score, actually, making it a little bit difficult for Sundowns just before halftime. Now they have to change their team talk, they have to change the strategy, because they're going to halftime trailing a team that they were not expecting to be trailing, and now they have to come and chase the game. It's not a position that we've seen Sundowns in a lot in many seasons, other than just this season. We don't see Sundowns trailing a lot. Yes, we've seen them trailing, but we don't see them a lot trailing in games. Even when they trail, sometimes they come back to salvage the points, even after trailing 1-0. So even at 1-0, you didn't think that the game was over. You still felt like this Mamelodi Sundowns could pull a comeback and secure all 3 points, or even get a point from the game. But I think TS Galaxy did a great job in making sure that they keep Sundowns away from the goal scoring opportunities. Not to say Mamelodi Sundowns did not create opportunities, because they did. We saw even before the goal, we saw Ribeiro, silenced as he was, they were able to silence him, but you can't silence a good player like that for the whole game. He will definitely get chances, but unfortunately when he did get chances, he was not clinical enough to finish. There was that one ball that hit the post, hit the upright, which should have been a goal. On any other day, he would have scored that one, but it wasn't meant to be his day. And TS Galaxy, big ups to them. In the second half, I thought, especially when I saw the coach making changes, coach making changes, and I thought to myself, he's probably going to defend. He's probably going to sit back and try to defend the goal that they've scored. But they didn't do that. Actually, that's when I started seeing more of TS Galaxy going forward. Around the 65th towards the 65th minute, 70th minute, we saw TS Galaxy going more into the Mamelodi Sundowns half and trying to get a second goal. And obviously, you are Mamelodi Sundowns. You are not used to being in a position like this. You are trailing, but instead of a team defending wholeheartedly and sitting back. They are coming for you. They are coming. They look like they are coming for a second goal. So I think that also that approach of being fearless by TS Galaxy also worked for them, because now they gave Sundowns so much to think about in the second half, and hence they couldn't find the equalizer, or even go on to win the game. Big ups to the coach, the TS Galaxy coach. I think he read the game pretty well. They were unlucky sometimes, Sundowns, because some of the chances they were just not as clinical. But the goal that TS Galaxy scored from Sibilibili in the first half, to a certain extent, to a goalkeeper of high standard, the number one goalkeeper in the continent, like Ronan Williams, you don't expect him to be beaten from that tight angle, especially on the near side, But I guess he wasn't expecting it to come that side, because you could see his foot was rooted. He didn't expect. It's as if he was expecting it to come on his left, on the far side, and it didn't. The player decided to play it right next to his foot on the near side, and that's how TS Galaxy were able to score a goal. Hence, they were able to win the game. Otherwise, before the Pirates and Sundowns game, I said if Pirates lose that game, it's game over. Sundowns are definitely going to win the league. That's what I said. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the post-match reaction of the Pirates game. But I felt like if Pirates don't win the game against Sundowns are going to open a gap and all. But here we are today. It's as if it never Saturday didn't happen. We are back where we started. Except Pirates did lose the game. And Sundowns now lost the game. Okay, imagine if Pirates were able to had Pirates been able to get a point, or to get something out of the Saturday game, and then Sundowns still losing this game, we'd be talking something else. The league, the race would still be quite pretty much open. Right now, even after this loss, I think Sundowns still have enough cushion. They still have enough to go on and win the league. I think I know Pirates have 2 games in hand, but as I said the other day that we all know it's better to have points in hand than games in hand, because we don't know if Pirates are going to win those 2 games in hand. They also do look shaky sometimes. We don't see Sundowns looking as shaky. Yes, there are people who argue that Sundowns look a little bit shaky this season, and today's game also solidifies that argument that they look a little bit shaky. But I still think they played good. They still played like the Sundowns that we know. They still played pretty good. But it's just TS Galaxy were able to neutralize their danger points, where they knew that if we neutralize Ribeiro and make sure that Mukwena doesn't move as much, doesn't take too many shots, because we know Mukwena can also. There are times when it's very tight and Mukwena just comes up with that thunder shot, and then with all of a sudden Mamelodi Sundowns are in the lead. They were also able to silence Peter Shalulile. Do you know how difficult it is to deal with Peter Shalulile? I know he's not the same at his best right now, but it's so difficult to silence Peter Shalulile. Now you have to silence Shalulile, you have to silence Reynes, you also have to silence Ribeiro. Other than that, Sundowns has massive quality players around the pitch, and TS Galaxy were able to absorb all that pressure and come out of this game with a win. It's like pulling a rabbit out of the hat, or pulling a hat out of the rabbit. I don't know which one it is, but it makes for a good league campaign, even though I feel like it's as good as gone now. They lost Sundowns, of course, but I just don't see catching up, any catching up happening from Pirates. But otherwise, congratulations to TS Galaxy. They call themselves Sia Dumuza. They did Dumuza Mamelodi Sundowns today, and it makes for a good. For those of us who are neutral, of course, we always expect teams. We always support teams that are playing against our rivals. So some of us are happy to see this. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. This has been Fans Corner. We meet again in the next one.